Hello, my lovey, and welcome to another episode of CFG Living Podcast. And you know there's an exclamation point in there because I am that extra. Today, we are lucky to have Kim DeYoung with us. This fab femme, author, check, leader, check, speaker, check, all the things. Oh my gosh, welcome, Kim. Thank you for being here.
I am so glad to be with you. So loving this.
Excellent. Because there's no escape. No, I'm kidding. So I just took your quiz at your website, and it's all about decision-making style. And what I find really fascinating is that the questions made me think, and I'm like, not that I was doubting myself, but I'm like, well, why do I not take other people's opinions into account? So would you mind giving an overview? P.S., my dear listener, I am a rhino, shocker, that I just like plow through the decisions and like I say I throw spaghetti at the wall. Like, why not? Let's try things. But will you please give us an overview, Kim?
Of the quiz? Yes, absolutely. The quiz was quite an endeavor to create because I was giving thought. I'm like, what types of decision makers are there in the world?
Right.
And at all different levels. How do people take in information? Do they need to collaborate? Do they deliberate? Do they move forward quickly? Like all of the things. Do they use their intuition? Like the many, many, many things. So I begin to sort of think, what is it that I want to capture? And then I was sort of moving people into buckets of what they were. And the questions they were so much fun to create. I mean,
I bet.
I mean, if I say that I spent 40, 50 hours creating this quiz, like I did, because it was fun. And the other thing is it was really important to me that it give great value to the quiz taker. Like I didn't want it to be a lighthearted Cosmo quiz. I wanted the person who takes it to say, oh, I understand my decision-making personality. And, here are the strengths of that personality. And here are some opportunities for improvement. So you, like me, we are the rhino. We are the charge ahead. Now, great. That means we move forward. We're decisive. But could we maybe spend a little more time deliberating? Might that be something to do? Just a tad. So, and each type has that. So it was a lot of fun. I got into my Canva geekiness of like creating guides for each type and really thinking through the strengths, the opportunities, the strategies for each type. So it was a lot of fun. I will tell you one thing that I learned after the fact, after creating the quiz, which is there are 5 types. And 3 of them are types in which the person is kind of a deliberator. They gather a lot of information. But what I observed is that one of the types is kind of moves forward with great confidence. Like they're going to spend the time deliberating, but once they know, they're on it. Versus one of the other types gathers information, but is a little avoidant in personality and would rather like, yeah, I got it, but I'm just going to stick my head in the sand at the moment and maybe not move forward. One of the other deliberating types is just so scared of making the wrong decision that they become indecisive. And we all know those people. And here's the truth. While you and I may be the rhino most times, I'm sure we have versions of us where we're the more indecisive. I mean, we all sort of do a version of it all. But hopefully the quiz is clarifying to you your more dominant decision-making type so that
100%.
You can get some information. And like any quiz, you just want to, I mean, we love learning about ourselves. So this is an opportunity to do just that.
So when you talk about decision-making and how that can help us, I know that you are all about choice and intentional choice. So let's see. This is really interesting. It's unfolding in my mind how we can learn about this and how it juxtaposes to other types of personality information or Enneagram or human design or any of those sorts of things as being another piece in the mosaic tile of showing us who we are.
Yes.
So I'm not really sure what my question is.
As somebody who has taken the gamut of personality types and love them all, I think if there's one thing that I gained from them, and this is to that point I shared just a moment ago, which is, I was big back in the day into the Myers-Briggs. And
Oh
if there's
yeah,
a
I was too.
that I really recalled with Myers-Briggs, and I
Mm-hmm.
years ago even got certified in it, not that I did anything with it, but it was, you might have your natural inclination as to what you do, but it is our opportunity to grow the part that is not natural. So I use
Mm-hmm.
the example of, I am an ENFP. The brains, like I'm the quintessential coach type, meaning that I take in information intuitively, I think with my heart. Now, would it be bad for me to take in information factually? Like, so for example, if I am going to buy a car,
Mm-hmm.
never would occur me to look at consumer reports. Like, that just does not happen. I have no interest in the data. I'm going to get in that car and I'm like, how does it feel? How does it smell? Like the whole thing.
Right.
My husband's going to review consumer reports, but would it be a bad thing for me to throw in a little consumer report sometimes? No. So I think, like any of these tests,
Right.
like, what do we do naturally? And then what can we consciously improve upon and add to us? And that's kind of where it comes down to choice in terms of bringing it full circle and being able to bring agency to the qualities, the skills that we bring into who we are.
I love that. So bringing agency to the qualities and the skills that we have. Tell me more about that. That rings so true to me. But the fears that we have around those sorts of social conventions, it goes back to lizard brain
Yeah.
fearing being thrown out of the tribe and then dying alone in the wilderness at the paws of a creature that doesn't want you around, and because we don't know, and that's why I think it does not give us any value to beat ourselves up for, I'm being, this is ridiculous. I should have done da 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 da. No, knock it off. You're surviving. In a way, we all are. And
Yeah.
then how we can change that to thriving comes into the gorgeous world of choice and intentionality and giving ourselves and our skills agency to help us. Hail, yes, preach.
Yes. Yes. So true. So, so true.
Oh, so let's see. Where in the world do you see yourself having the most relaxation and the most ability to make choices, to really choose?
It's, the word relaxation, I don't know if I even know what to do with that word in that sense, because that does not come easily to me.
I do not hang out well.
I wish I knew how to relax better. That is not my strength. So where do I orient with choice? Is that a fair way to answer that
Yes,
question?
absolutely.
I will say, as somebody who has written the book of choice, it's kind of like choice is always on my mind,
Mhm.
always, 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 from the perspective of like, how am I choosing to show up? What is the specificity of the choice that I'm making? How
Mhm.
am I interacting? Like, am I making a choice? Am I, like
Yeah.
all of the details, like it is always, always, always on my mind. And I find I see choice everywhere. I mean, it's sort of like, what is it? The yellow VW. Like
Right.
once you see it, you can't not see it.
And that's exactly the lovely story of the Cherokee wolves. The one is hate and the one is love. And which one thrives? Well, the one you feed. So when you're
Right.
looking for your choices and you can see that you have choices and that there is not actually, I don't know who, your grandmother with a stern tisk tisk telling you that you have to go to lunch or you have to serve the committee every time they ask for anything. That's not there. It is our
Yeah.
choice,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So true.
Mm. That is gorgeous. I thank you so much. And dear listener or viewer, I recommend that you go to her website in the show notes, Natch, and take the quiz because as I feel like sometimes I shut down and avoid decisions, but really that's just me saying I don't want to do that. So I was surprised when I got the rhino, but
Yeah.
then when I realized it's like, oh, because the rhino doesn't care, they're not going, you know.
The rhino is the charge ahead, they're just they are moving forth, going forward, not being held back.
Right. And when they're ready to charge, they charge.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of the rhino, I saw a meme. Someone had asked their kiddo, did they know the name of the rhino? And they said, that's a warrior unicorn.
Oh, I love that. That's great.
Because it's so big and strong and everything. It's awesome.
Yeah, that is great.
Oh my gosh, Kim, thank you so much for spending so much time
I
with
loved
me.
it. Thank
you. This is an absolute blast.